American Airlines is canceling service to some cities because of the pilot shortage, and the head of United is blaming a shortage of air traffic controllers for recent problems. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez is at Bradley International Airport in Connecticut. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, George, good morning. Yeah, that news from American Airlines coming in overnight, and it really highlights just how desperately this country needs more pilots ready to fly.
This morning, American Airlines reportedly ending its service to 3 American cities as the air travel industry is battered by staffing problems. The airline announcing it will no longer fly to Toledo, Ohio, or Ithica and Islip in New York, citing regional pilot shortages. It comes after airlines canceled 5,000 flights since Thursday.
It's frustrating. It makes me feel powerless. I've been stuck in an airport basically for 2 days.
Airlines are blaming in part the FAA. United CEO Scott Kirby calling out staffing shortages.
The biggest bottleneck is probably air traffic control. They're doing everything they can, but like many in the economy, have staffing issues.
Almost daily, FAA advisories cite staffing and weather issues at some of its busiest air traffic control centers, forcing the airlines to cancel or delay flights.
Those controllers are working their tails off to be successful, but when you're at 50% staff, it's a nightmare for customers, for employees, for the airlines.
In a statement to ABC News, the FAA says it continues to recruit and hire new controllers, adding in part that while there have been staffing issues for a few hours at a few facilities due to COVID-19 and other factors, there is not a nationwide shortage. And it's not just the FAA. Delta pilots writing to customers that the company is scheduling too many flights. Pilots feel overworked. Over the holiday weekend, Delta alone canceling more than 700 flights across the country. Delta and other major airlines now planning to cut hundreds of flights in July and August to help ease the problem.
You have to pack your patience. You have to be prepared. This thing is probably not going to turn around this summer.
This all comes as experts predict 11 million people planning to fly over the July 4th holiday, 2.6 million a day, smashing pandemic records.
So, Gio, what's your best advice to travelers? Is insurance worth it?
Well, you know what, George? You want to try to book direct nonstop flights if you can, preferably first thing in the morning. As for the insurance, yeah, it's probably a good idea. We used to say that was good for international trips because of medical expenses, but now it's probably a good idea for domestic, too, because you're going to cover things like cancellation fees, lost luggage, maybe even hotel fees that you may have to put out there for. And you want to go ahead and shop around, right? Don't just look at what the airline is offering. Look for other ones, see what the prices are, and just shop around. Just make sure that company is legit, George.
Definitely need to shop around, Gio. And Gio, stay with us because I want to bring in our chief economics correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis. And Rebecca, inflation is having a huge impact on every facet of vacationing. But are there any tips to keep the cost as low as possible, especially people dealing with cancellations and seeing their vacations extended?
Hey, Michael, yeah, you'll have to eat, obviously, but dining out has become more expensive with restaurant prices up more than 7%. You can save, though. You can try apps like Too Good To Go, which connects you with stores and restaurants that have leftover food at the end of the day. It is active in a number of cities, and it lets you capitalize on surplus food. Also, download the app to your favorite restaurant chain. Many are offering daily deals and coupons. And check out sites like Groupon and Living Social. They list deals on food and experiences wherever you're traveling. There's also a great best value guide on Eater that gives you a sense of where you can stretch your money the farthest.
That's all great suggestions there, Rebecca. And Gio, how about the timing? When should you travel if you want to try and avoid a flight mare?
Well, Robin, hands down, early in the morning, those flights are less likely to get canceled. So first thing in the morning. As for the days of the week, look for like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, sort of off-peak days. On holiday weekends, that actually might be a Saturday, so you want to look at that. And you want to go ahead and maybe travel for shoulder season. That's what we're talking about is September. That's when you're going to save the most money, that shoulder season. So look at that because you're going to save a lot more than you would, for example, in the summer right now.
And Rebecca, huge demand for travel right now. We're seeing prices go up for travel, but a recession may be coming. Is now the right time to plan a big trip?
Oh, you got to balance your mental health with your financial health, George. Take a break is not going to create financial and mental stress down the road, so you want to make sure you're balancing that, budgeting for your trip, sticking to it. Even with gas prices up almost 50% from a year ago, it's still cheaper to drive than to fly, with flights up 40%. And you can use apps like Gas Buddy and Waze to plan and find the least expensive gas along the way. Think creatively with your lodging. Camping, I did that all the time as a kid. Home swapping, I did not do that as a kid, but now there are apps like Home Exchange, and they can help you do that. Also consider shortening the amount of the time that you're on the road. A staycation can be for those remaining days, George.
Yeah, and I got to say, Rebecca and Gio, they're great suggestions, but that didn't keep people from traveling here to Times Square.
No.
You get the shot outside. GMA viewer since birth. They're from Colorado. He's 7 years old, so for 7 years, since birth, he's been watching Good Morning America. But it's wonderful how folks take the time to join us here in Times Square. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.